Good evening, everyone out there in internet land. My name is Kip, and this is Car Chat with Kip on America Bumper to Bumper. What we do on this show is car news, car stories, recalls, and just hopefully have some good fun in the chat. So let's start in with some channel news. And let's see, press that button. There we go. Facebook is growing ever slowly, which is a cool thing. Hadn't checked it in a while, and we are up to 880 people following, which is pretty cool. And we also have, if you guys haven't figured it out yet, we also have an America Bumper to Bumper group. And please, everybody, feel free to go over there, share pictures of your cars, share your videos. If you're a YouTuber, just share over everybody, share everything over there, and definitely ask people to join that page or that group as well. So let's grow that and help everybody out. Going over to YouTube, as I had said on Wednesday's Buy It or Boot It live stream, that we're gaining subscribers every little bit. We're now up to 405, which it's one more than we had on Wednesday, so that's pretty cool. Yes, we're up to 405. Yay, congratulations. Thank you. So again, hopefully people are enjoying these streams, and we'll have some other videos coming out pretty soon. So definitely excited about the channel growth, and everything's looking good. Okay, we're going to start this stream out with the 20 best-selling cars of 2019. And as you can see from this picture here, not all of them were trucks or SUVs. So let's get in there and see what the 20th most sold car of 2019 was. And number 20 is the Nissan Sentra at 184,000 or over 184,000 sales, which is kind of an amazing thing that's on the list when you look down there and it says that the sales were down 13.3% compared to 2018, and they still were able to get into the top 20 best-selling car list. So props to Nissan. I'll be very interested to see this time next year where Nissan is. Number 19, Jeep Cherokee at 191,000 units. And this is another one that's kind of surprising because its sales were down 20% over 2018. We actually have another story we'll get into a little bit later about the Jeep Cherokee. 18 on the list, the Nissan Altima at 209,000 units sold. Surprisingly, this Nissan, and I gotta say it's a good-looking car. They actually had increased sales over 2018, but only just barely at 0.2%. But that is more than last year, so props to Nissan on that. Number 17, Jeep Wrangler, which I'm not surprised at all, 228,000 units, and their sales slid 5% over 2018. So it's a tough year when even the Jeep Wrangler loses some sales. Number 16, the GMC Sierra, 232,000 units sold last year. And even the Sierra sales are down at almost 6% over 2018. Toyota Highlander. Now, the one that you see here is the 2020, not the 2019. But that's a nice looking vehicle right there. Sales for 2019 for the Highlander, 239,000 units. And they're only slightly down, falling 2.1% off of 2018 sales. So again, Toyota not selling as much. You know that last year was a pretty rough year. The Ford Escape, again, this is a 2020 version, so not the same as the 2019s, but they sold 241,000 Escapes last year. And their sales are down 11.8% over 2019 or over 2018. But it's still, see, what does it say here? It's the only Ford other than the F-150 to break into the top 20. Oop. 13, Jeep Grand Cherokee, 242, almost 243,000 units. And this was one of those few cars that ended up with higher sales at 8% higher than 2018 sales. So that's a good thing for Jeep and FCA. Toyota Tacoma, which again is not surprising that the Toyotas are on here, 248, almost 249,000 units, and they had increased sales as well of 1.3%. Honda Accord at number 11, 267,500 units. And, you know, along with the Altima, as it says there, it's showing that sedans aren't quite dead yet, but it just missed being in the top 10. Sales on the Accord were down 8% over 2018. Toyota Corolla, another sedan, 304,000, almost 305,000 units. Again, not terribly surprising, and they actually, for another sedan that saw a gain, although very small, at 0.3% over 2018. The Honda Civic. All right, guys, don't know what's been going on with this. I guess it's about time to buy another computer. All right, I'm not sure where we dropped off, so I'm going to go back a few slides and try this all again. Let's see. We'll go back to. Why don't we go back to the Tacoma and you know, maybe you get to see this all again. All right, Tacoma again, almost 249,000 units sold, and their sales were up 1.3% over 2018. The Honda Accord, their sales were actually down by 8% over last year, over 2018, I should say. But they did sell 267,000 units. Breaking into the top 10 is Toyota Corolla, 304,000 units. They had a very small gain of 0.3% over 2018. And seeing the Altima, the Corolla, and the Accord on this list means that sedans aren't quite dead yet. Honda Civic, another sedan. Let's see. Civic almost had a year-over-year sales increase for 2019, but just barely didn't, at a 0.03% down from 2018. They sold 110 more Civics last year than they did this year. So pretty much a wash. Good job, Honda. Camry. Again, I gotta say, I'm pretty surprised at all the sedans that are still on this list. 336,000, just barely under 337,000 units sold. Their sales are down 1.8% over 2018. And I think that the new styling on the car probably helped them from sliding further. It's a nice looking car. Chevy Equinox, right on. We're there for, although ours technically is a 2020, so it was sold in 2019, but I'm not sure. Yeah, well, anyways. Equinox sales 346,000. That's why I think I see them all over the place. They sold a lot. Yes, I started, unfortunately, looked like there was the stream died at one point, so but I'm back, Grant, and thank you very much for stopping in. Equinox sales were down 4% over 2018, but Chevy can't be upset with 346,000 sold. Another stream, and it was dumb, so I'm glad I could make it here. Great, I'm glad you're here too. And luckily for the other people not having a dull stream, I hope that mine isn't nearly as dull. Anyways, number 6 on the list with 350,000 units sold is the Nissan Rogue. That surprises me a bit. Well, no, it doesn't. It's a small SUV and people love them. I just don't particularly care for them. I think they're very, very uncomfortable. Anyways, their sales are actually down 15% over 2018, but still selling 350,000 of them. Honda CR-V, 384,000 units, slightly up in sales, 1.3% over 2018. So you can see as we're getting closer to number 1, a lot more SUVs, especially small ones. RAV4, this one does not surprise me at all. It's going to be at number 4, 448,000 units sold. And I don't know if you remember from a couple streams ago that the RAV4 hybrid actually supplanted the Prius for the number 1 selling hybrid in Toyota's stables. Parents have one. Agree. Backseat stinks on the Rogue. Yes, very much. We rented one a couple of years ago to go on a trip, and kids were not very happy. Not a comfortable backseat at all. I can definitely say the Equinox, thumbs up, real comfortable. On to number 3, and not surprising, a pickup truck. Chevy Silverado, 575,600 units sold last year, and that accounts for a 2% drop over 2018. And the surprising thing is, we're at number 3, and the Chevy Silverado is sitting at 3, where it's normally at number 2, which has been ousted from the number 2 spot by the Ram pickup. 633,000 units sold. There's an 18% increase in sales on the Ram over 2018, and they finally got, for the first time ever, the number 2 sales spot. And of course, number 1 top selling is the F-150. Almost 900,000 F-150 pickups have been sold. That's F-Series, not just the F-150. So F-150, 250, 350s, all the way. I'm not sure if they add in the 450 and higher's in there, but and 900,000 units. That was actually a 1.4% drop in sales for the F-150 or the F-Series over 2018. So look at the top 20 best-selling cars of 2019. And for you guys, Blue Oval for the win. Absolutely. They did it. Harley Davidson pickup trucks. This is going to be a truck-heavy show. There's a lot of truck news that has been coming down the pike. Hey, Benny, thanks for coming in. I said, bet the 2020 Honda Sonata is on that list next year. Thing looks really good. Yep. Yeah, sedans, I don't know why all the big three are getting rid of all their sedans, because you look at that list, there's plenty on there that are still top selling. So they can do it. Anyways, back to the other news. Harley Davidson, you no longer going to be just Ford, or is no longer with Ford. The 2020 Harley Davidson, as you see on the screen here, is a GMC Sierra. The Harley Davidson Sierra for 2020 is being built by Tuscany Motors, same people who did the Harley Davidson F-150s. And this is not just a badge swapping truck. There are actually 65 upgrades to this GMC Sierra. And it starts with, and it's not all cosmetic, as they say in the article. New grille, front bumper, integrated light bar down here. Truck also gets a Harley Davidson Ram Air hood, which you can just barely see up there. Custom fenders, custom fender flares, functional fender vents, lighted power deploying running boards with new trim, redesigned rear bumper that showcase the billet aluminum tips and the custom exhaust. Tow hooks are painted Harley Davidson orange, and the tailgate and doors get HD badges. 22-inch aluminum wheels are inspired by the popular Fat Boy model, and they're wrapped in 35-inch all-terrain tires. Also, a BDS suspension lift and upgraded Fox shocks and lateral stability bars. While the bed is capped with a branded tonneau cover and lined with branded rug. All right, going back over here. I almost used this story. Yeah, hey, it's a good story. I actually read about it a couple days ago, so I'm happy to have found it to do on here. Just quickly going through the pictures here. I'm not a huge fan of any this truck or the Ford trucks. I don't think they just, I don't know what it is about it. Just don't particularly, I don't know, don't particularly like them. I don't know why, but it doesn't look as bad on the GMC as it did with on the Fords. But overall, nice truck. And let's move on to next story. I'm not sure if I said hi, Benny, but hi, Benny. Glad you're here. Okay. All right, guys. Next story is about the Bullitt Mustang, the movie car. How many millions of dollars did it sell for? While this story is deciding to take its time to come up. Benny, I think that's probably right. I'm not into motorcycles either. Just never got around to learning how to ride or really getting into them. So maybe that's why I'm not a big HD fan. So anyways, again, unless you guys have seen the story already, you guys know how much the movie car from Bullitt, the 68 Mustang, sold for at the Make-'em auction and Kissimmee. 3.4 is correct, Grant. $3.4 million, and it shatters the record as the most expensive Mustang ever sold. And to be very honest, if there was going to be a Mustang that was going to hold the record for the most expensive car, the Bullitt Mustang is one that I can definitely understand getting that number. Iconic, lost for years and years and years, found. Actually wasn't lost, it was just tucked away and the family didn't want anybody to know about it. So yeah, but this is a great looking car and a lot of great history to it, and congratulations to the people who who now are the fine owners of it. Mustang one, or the one, this is the one that he drove in the movie. It's not the one they found in Mexico and redid. This is the actual hero car from the movie. And Pete, thanks for coming on in. Appreciate it. Yeah, family in, I think, New Jersey owned the car and hid it away, not wanting anybody to know that they'd had it, in fears that somebody was going to come in and steal it. So, and you got to, our dog, you have a cat that's scratching, and our dog's having a freak attack. Anyways, so 3.4 million, top money for a Mustang ever. Congratulations to the people at Make 'Em Kiss Me for having that amazing car there. And as this one goes away and our new thing comes up, any hackers here? Because if you are, you could potentially win yourself a Tesla Model 3 and about $800,000. Yes, that is correct. If you are a hacker, you can. Dad bought it and then son drove it for a while. Yep. Yep. That is absolutely right, Pete. There is a contest, or I want to say a contest, but a hacker extravaganza, which they say in this article, called 0 Day Initiative. Tesla is the main sponsor of this initiative, and basically hey Jason, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here. So hackers attack cars and all this other stuff to see if they can break into their systems, and Tesla, depending on what they break into, they can get money for it. Let me scroll down here. So if an individual is able to completely compromise Tesla Model 3, they win the car. Not only will they go home with the car, but they'll immediately earn a cash prize of $500,000. Yet the most skilled have a chance for more money. If the contestant ticks off a few other hacks in extra categories, they can win $200,000 more dollars. Infotainment root persistence. Don't ask me what all this means because I'm not a hacker. Autopilot route persistence, and arbitrary control of the CAN bus. Each one of those, you can get 200,000 more bucks. There's tier 1 hacking, tier 2 hacking, which I guess tier 2 is compromising infotainment, Wi-Fi, stuff like that. So, yep. You depending on how far you can hack into the car and what you can do to it, you can win yourself a lot of money. So if you're a hacker and you want to have a little bit of fun and maybe win some money, you're going to need to go to Vancouver March 18th and through the 20th to win your money. Yeah, definitely practice up, Pete. I couldn't. I have trouble breaking into a piggy bank, so I'm not going to go. Sorry, guys. Computer is wicked slow tonight. All right. So as some of you saw earlier when I was going through the list of top 20 vehicle sales for 2019, the Jeep Cherokee was actually, I want to say, pretty high on the list, but they were like, I don't know, 17, 18, something like that, which means they sold a fair amount. But those sales were actually down from the year before by close to 20%, 20 or 30%. And FCA is deciding to, your other state. All right. Now, okay. No, you're not a hacker either. Okay, gotcha. Jeep Cherokee plant will be idled for 2 weeks because of lessening sales. They're also going to be extending a shutdown of the Ontario factory that builds the Chrysler Pacifica, the Town and Country, and the Caravan. All due to poor sales, although, as I said earlier, sales aren't that bad. 2019 sales were 119,000 for the Cherokee, down 20%, 20%, not 30, sorry guys. And the minivans, their sales were gosh, where did it say that? I know it says there some. Okay, here we go. Minivan sales were down 17% from the year before, but they still outsold every other minivan on market with 122,000 compared to the next closest, which is the Honda Odyssey at 99,000. But definitely not where they need to be. All right, Grant, they need to chop the top a little and badge those Cherokees as a AMC Eagle. I like it. Yeah. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Drop it down just a bit. Drop the top. Compete with the Outback. I see it. I see it. Chop the price a little. That would help. Yeah, okay, that would do it too. Okay. Now, I don't know about you guys, but for me, if I'm gonna get into a truck, there's part of me that wants just a nice basic, as it says here, back to basic pickup truck. No bells, no whistles, just as basic as you can get. And now there is a Ford dealership in Kansas that you can actually buy a pretty stripped F-150, and they're calling it the Cattleman Edition. So what do you get in the Cattleman Edition? You get roll up windows, hand crank windows. You get let's see, you get regular cab, 8-foot bed, 373 rear gears, a 5-liter V8. You also get vinyl 40-20-40 seats, vinyl floor, manual windows and locks, AM/FM radio, and a Class 4 receiver hitch. Video camera, the rear view cameras, those are standard. Those are mandated by the where's the dealer? I don't, it doesn't give me a location, but it's long MacArthur Ford. That's the dealership that's putting this out. It just says it's Kansas dealership. Along with the no frills interior, you get a 2-inch lift, black low gloss XD 18-inch wheels with all-terrain tires. You get a spray and bed liner, and you get a grill guard. And as you can see in the truck, that is a pretty good looking truck. So this actual package does cost you more than your normal truck, which is kind of sad at $6,000, and it can be on any new, used, or any ordered truck through this dealership. Vinyl seat. Yep, pretty basic, and I gotta say, I'm a fan. I like that that brush guard. That's pretty cool. All right, going back into the chat because they're bringing back the Wagoneer. Yes, Wagoneer will be built alongside the Ram full-size Ram pickups. It's going to be a body-on-frame vehicle. I can't wait to see more of the camouflage taken off of it. Looks like it's going to be a pretty cool 3-row thing. I don't like when the first generation of the new Cherokees were hideous. I'm very glad that they came out with the new. Yes, they had a YouTube channel as well. Who had a YouTube channel as well? The this dealership. Excuse me. All I need a cab, bed, engine, transmission, and brakes. Yep. Look in the mirror to see if there are beside me, and I know how to check the air and all. Yep. Basic is overrated nowadays. Heard of it? Had to look it up. Modern day Lightning a year or two ago. Ah, yes, that would be cool. Oh, the Ford dealership. Okay, gotcha. I do have to say there are a lot of dealerships out there that do these kind of special editions for their dealerships that I really like. I do like this F-150 Cattleman. I also like the GM dealers, the Chevy dealers that kind of do a heritage, trying to go for the square body look on the new trucks. That's pretty cool. All right. Moving on. Dodge is going to continue building the Challenger alongside the new car when it comes out. Of course, one thing that Zelda that would be jumpstart. What's one thing with Zelda that would jumpstart me working on it again? Money and garage. So I know that's more than one, but that's the thing. I've got money's should be okay once we get once taxes start rolling back in, but I just have nowhere right now to do anything with it, and I am getting worried with some stuff I see that there might be some water leaking around the windshield, and hoping that that doesn't mean that there's rust in the windshield area, which would be a big bummer. All right, back to the regular cab. Yeah, those dealerships are really cool. I like that stuff. And this is back to the Challenger. It's not uncommon for FCA to do this sort of a thing, where they build the old car along with the new one. They did that with the Wranglers when they changed styles. They did that with the trucks. Actually, the Ram trucks, they still make the classic 1500 from the old styled. There's no indications as of yet when the new Charger, or whether they're going to call it the Barracuda or whatever they're going to do, is going to be coming out. But they have said they will be building the Challenger alongside the new car once they do. Might not be till 2023, I think that it's said in here, before we see the new car. Nope, I guess it doesn't say. I thought it said it somewhere in here. Anywho, rumors are the new car is going to get either will have the underpinnings of an Alfa Romeo, or it could be potentially a Maserati underpinnings, which I'm happy with either one of those. Those both of them definitely going to mean a smaller car, which I think will be good for the Challenger, because it's a pretty hefty car right now. But it'll be interesting to see what the new cars look like when they come out. And as I said earlier, guys, this is a pretty truck-heavy show. And Nissan Titan isn't dead yet, but it might be on its way. So the Titans, they better not build a four-door CUDA. No, from what I understand, They're going to continue to build a 4-door Charger. It will still be called a Charger, but at one point they were toying around with naming the successor for the Challenger, the Barracuda. But that was rumor back then. There's been other stories that I've read that said it's still going to be Challenger. So it'll be interesting to see. Can I remove the banner? Absolutely. Oh, I thought I got rid of them all. Thanks. Go back to comments. Jason, you messed me up. All good though. Jesus, where am I going here? There we go. Now I can see the comments over here and the story. Yay! Now I'm back in business. So the Nissan Titans have been selling fewer and fewer over the years. They only sold 31,000 in 2019, sorry, which is 37% fewer than 2018. They are getting rid of the XD, which is the diesel version, and those actually had a fair amount of sales, so they're going to be losing a lot there. But as the sales keep going down, there are some people that are saying, especially the gentleman who wrote this story, that Nissan may be doing away with the full-size truck. And be very honest, I don't think Nissan needs to be in the full-size market. I don't think the trucks look very good. I don't think they perform very good. Leave the big trucks to the other guys. Focus on the thing that you sell really well, and that is the mid-size truck, the Frontier. That truck's been on the market for 14 years and still sells very well. Focus on that, redesign that, make it a very capable mid-size truck. Leave even Toyota doesn't sell a whole lot of Tundras. Leave it to the guys that know the trucks, and just, save the money for, your cars, because I think Nissan, you're going to need it. All right. If they call it a CUDA, it better look like one. CUDA is actually a little smaller than the Challenger. Yep. It's gonna be. We're gonna have to just wait and see to how that all sugars out. But like I say, if they build the new car on the Giulia platform or on a Maserati platform, they don't really have, other than the Quattroporte, they don't have anything that's really big, especially Maserati, and so I think it's going to be a smaller car, a little bit lighter, more nimble. So if they do go with CUDA, I think it'll be a good one. Anyways, now we're going to take a quick look through and see the great cars that nobody bought in 2019. First up, and this is a complete contrast to the best-selling cars of 2019. This is the worst-selling cars of 2019. 238 Nissan NSXs were sold. 574 Audi R8s were sold. That's kind of surprising. I think the R8 is a pretty decent looking car, but apparently not a lot of people wanted one last year. Stiff competition though. 331 GTRs. That I can't say I'm very necessarily surprised at. They haven't changed the car in 13 years. Oven mitts, they haven't sold. Oh, wait a minute now. Oh, okay. Alfa Romeo 4C, 144. again, I'm not terribly surprised. I think the 4C is an awesome looking car. Um, Ferrari DNA and a really small package. I would buy one if I had the money too. I think they're pretty cool. Lexus LC at 1,219 sold. Lexus hasn't really done anything for me in quite a while, so you know, no big deal for that, for me anyways. The Boxsters and Caymans, it's surprising. They only sold 3,800 or so of those last year. I'm not sure. Only reason I don't take the Taycan sold fewer. 26% decrease in units sold over 2018. That is very true, Benny. They are pretty expensive. I think they need to go back to kind of differentiating it a little more from the 911 because they have grown in price pretty good. Mercedes SL class 1690 sold. Yawn. I'm not. I don't think Mercedes has had a really great looking car for 20 or 30 years. Hyundai Veloster N 2,212 sold. It's an interesting looking car. I guess not 100% surprised at the low number of sales, but I know that there were a lot of people out there. Maybe it's just the N version that sold so little. Either way, credit cards. I think that Fiat, I don't know that we'll be seeing their cars much longer in the States. Alfa Romeo's had way more success with their sales than any of the Fiats. 500, they've already cut from the U.S. market. So I think it's like the 500X and the 124 Spider. And at 26,440 or 26,44. When you could buy a Miata for less money, and I don't know, I almost think the Miata looks a little bit better. Again, not terribly surprising. Golf R performance model, again, they're pretty pricey, so it's not terribly surprising that they only sold 4,000 of them. Miata, like I say, more than doubled the sales, almost tripled the sales of the Fiat 124. Do like the looks of the McLaren. Yes, that is one of the few over the past 30 years that does look pretty good. I even like the AMG SLS, I think it is, that they've had recently. That's a good looking car, but not a whole lot else out there. Subaru BRZ, not terribly surprising with this one either. Pretty specialty car, 2,334 sold. The 86, again, I'm actually surprised that they're considering doing another generation of this car with the slow sales, but I think for the right price and the right content, it could be a pretty good seller, but we'll have to see how that goes for them. Whoops. Gotta go back. Being overzealous. Land Cruisers, 3,536. Again, not, they're really expensive. So that many sold is not at all surprising. I'd like a Golf R because it's rear-wheel drive, or or is it? No, they're not rear-wheel drive. They're all-wheel drive. That's what I think differentiates them from the GTI. The R is all-wheel drive, and I think it has a slightly bigger turbo, so a little bit more horsepower. Audi TT, seeing that it's out of production or will be soon. Not, again, surprising they sold so few of those. Nissan 370Z, I'm surprised they sold that many. The car hasn't changed in like 9 years. No real changes to it in 9 years. So they need to take the money that they're wasting on the Titan and put it into a new one of these, or freshen up the GTR. All right, VW should bring back the Corrado in all-wheel drive, or even the Scirocco. They actually make the Scirocco overseas. They don't want to bring it over here because they are afraid it will eat away at the GTI sales and the Golf R sales. It's a much better looking car. I'm not sure if you can get it in all-wheel drive, but I would love to see a new sports car out of Volkswagen. With their move to electrical or electrifying their vehicles, I don't know, that might be a cool thing to bring out just as an electric car. We shall see. And the Continental, again, this is kind of a specialty car, so not terribly surprising that they didn't sell. Plus, they're fairly pricey for what you get, especially if you want one with a suicide door. So, yeah. And as I said in the first segment, first time ever in 2019, Dodge has outsold Chevy in the pickup truck race. Congratulations, Dodge. And hey, yeah. So last week I reported that there were 5 lucky people who last year bought brand new Vipers, even though they stopped production back in 2017. Well, apparently 3 people bought brand new Lexus LFAs, and they haven't been in production since 2011 or 2012. Production ended. So congratulations to those 3 people who finally bought an LFA. I wonder if they paid more for them, or whether they got smoking deals. That'd be interesting. Alrighty then. Final story of the night is recall. 500,000 Subarus are being recalled over defective airbags again. Subaru is recalling 497,922 vehicles to replace front passenger airbag inflators. These same vehicles are part of a recall in which the defective Takata airbag inflators received temporary replacements until permanent ones were available. The airbag inflator may explode if a propellant they contain degrades after long-term exposure to heat and humidity or extreme temperatures, according to documents. If this type of explosion, sharp metal fragments could strike the driver or passenger, causing serious injury or death. So, Subaru already has notified owners of affected Subaru vehicles. GM has begun notifying owners of affected Saab vehicles, which Saab would be the 9-2X, I believe, is what the Subaru that GM sold. So if you own a Subaru, you might be getting another recall notice. And that being said, we are we are just about done with our show for this evening. I want to thank everybody that is stuck around in the stream and for the great comments and talking about the trucks and the all the good stuff. Really appreciate everyone for being here. And remember, we've got our Buy It or Boot It live stream, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Wednesday nights. That's where we go to 3 different zip codes throughout the United States. We pull up Facebook Marketplace and we see whether the cars that are for sale within a certain price range are worth it or not. So we hope to see you guys all there. As we close out all of our videos, dreams without ambition is like a car without gas. You're not going to get very far. God bless. Take care. Have a great night and a great weekend.